Hey YouTube, just making this video on some comments that I got about the air filtration setup on these 750s. First and foremost, I got to tell you, if you're gonna rip the stock air box off of one of these bikes, you can't just take it out on the road after that, guys, when you throw a couple pod filters on. It's just not how it works, okay? Step number 2 is you got to get in there and you got to rejet those carbs. That's how it is. If you're taking the box off one of these dual carb V-twin engines, it's got to be done. Now there are some contingencies though. Let me show you. This is a Rebel 250, okay, and I just basically took out the stock air box right here, just ripped it completely out, and slapped a pod filter on there. Didn't even have to rejet it. Now, I do live in the United States around 4,000 feet, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, okay? But if you know somebody who has a 250, send them this link. It might help them, might give them a little more courage to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I would say do it anyway. These things are so easy to work on, just give it a shot. If it doesn't work, you can always put it back together, okay? Or rejet the carb, whatever you want to do. So, but anyway, going back to this one, 101, guys. If you increase the airflow, you got to increase the fuel output, okay? And then you're gonna have to do all your mixing and all that stuff and then tuning it up. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to do that. So yeah, when you do the carbs, those who haven't done them before, just make sure you get pictures and video of you taking it apart so you can get it back together right. But as far as the setup goes, pretty basic, easy. Okay, anybody who's ever taken their stock air box off is going to recognize this hose right there. Okay, this is the stock hose. All right, stock hose, nothing to it. All right, the trick is connecting them together. Okay, now what you want to do is you're going to want to cut that stock hose and to the length about where you want it, okay? You don't want it sitting out too far because then your leg's going to hit it. It's going to get annoying while you ride, okay? Keep it nice and tucked into the bike, so cut your hose accordingly, all right? And then what you want to do is find a pod filter. There's tons of these out there. That's going to be the same diameter as this hose. And the reason for it is because you need a solid base to clamp down, and I'll get to that in a second. So what I mean by that is if this is your end of your hose, and pretend this is a hole, okay? You don't want your pod filter to slip over the top of the other hose. You don't want it sitting inside of the hose. You want the diameter the same, so they touch all the way around. And the reason for that is because we're going to take a piece of PVC pipe. It's incredibly cheap, so you can go out there and get tons of it. And you're going to put a small piece. Let me see if I can get in there a little better. Make that not block the light. There we go. All right. You're going to take a piece of PVC pipe and put it inside of this hose, the stock hose, okay? And then you're going to be able to take the pod filter and put it on the outside of the PVC pipe. I'll say that again. You want to put it on the outside. Don't try to squeeze it on the inside, okay? I mean, if you look at it, it kind of makes sense, but there are some who are beginning, and I understand that, that needs to make sense for them, okay? So, once again, put the piece of PVC pipe inside of this hose, the stock hose, all right, and then put the pod filter on the outside of the piece of PVC pipe. And then between the stock hose and the air filter, you can sandwich them together. Now, you got a good solid base underneath where you can put some clamps, hose clamps on top to where you can create a good seal, all right? Filtration is pretty important. Okay, so pretty easy. Same thing on this side too, okay? Just a small chunk of piece of PVC pipe you can throw in there and just clamp down. You see, we're not using anything, none of this technicality crap, it's just basic, easy. Like I say in some of my other videos, if you have a part that's already there, just use it. Get creative, use your imagination, and just, there's no reason to go out and spend tons of money on getting stuff, and I know there's parts and stuff out there that you can get for this sort of thing, but I don't know, man. I'm always on a budget, and I try to save people money. So if we can do it a cheap way and have it reliable and safe, then do it, So pretty basic setup, all right? I hope this video helps. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. Like I say in my videos, don't worry about subscribing, guys. I know there's a lot of people have subscribed. You know what? And I appreciate it. You know, I hope these videos help in any way and inspire you. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and leave them below. If it's pretty easy, I'll just send you a message. If it's a little more technical and I think everybody could use it, I'll go ahead and make a video about it. But anyway, love you guys, man. Want everyone to stay safe out there. You know, people are getting crazier on the roads these days, so, you know, keep it rubber side down. Hope you guys have a good day. All right, see ya.